Number 1. Real life in Indonesia. Most people picture Bali, blue beaches, rice terraces, temples, spicy food, beautiful women, and sunsets that look made for travel videos. And yes, that Indonesia is real, but it is only a small piece of the story. The real Indonesia is much bigger, louder, more crowded, more spiritual, and far more unpredictable than many visitors imagine. This is a country of more than 17,000 islands, over 300 ethnic groups, and more than 700 languages spoken across the archipelago. More than 80% of its citizens are Muslim, making Indonesia the largest Muslim-majority country in the world, although it is not a theocracy. It sits between Asia and Australia, between the Indian Ocean and the Pacific Ocean. On the map, it stretches across such a huge area that traveling from western Indonesia to eastern Indonesia can feel like crossing several countries. It is Java, where millions of people live in some of the most crowded cities in Asia. It is Bali, where Hindu temples, tourism, beaches, and foreign visitors shape daily life. It is Sumatra, with rainforests, orangutans, coffee, and old trading cities. It is Sulawesi, with unusual funeral customs and dramatic landscapes. It is Papua, where mountains, forests, and remote communities can feel worlds away from Jakarta. It looks like paradise, but it sits on one of the most unstable parts of the planet. Indonesia lies along the Ring of Fire, where volcanoes, earthquakes, and tsunamis are part of life. The same forces that created its beautiful mountains, fertile soil, black sand beaches, and dramatic islands can also destroy villages in minutes. Its flag looks almost exactly like the flag of Monaco. Both are red over white. The main difference is the size ratio, which means many people have probably mixed them up at least once. But Indonesia is much more than a flag. It is also home to the Komodo dragon, the largest lizard on Earth, found only on a few Indonesian islands. It can grow more than 10 feet long, run faster than you might expect, and has venom powerful enough to help bring down large prey. And if giant animals are not strange enough, Indonesia is also home to one of the largest flowers in the world, Rafflesia arnoldii. It has huge red petals and a terrible smell, which is why many people call it the corpse flower. Imagine walking through a rainforest expecting beauty, then finding a giant flower that smells like something died nearby. Then there is Jakarta. Jakarta is busy, hot, crowded, ambitious, and exhausting. Traffic can feel endless. Flooding is a constant problem. Some areas are sinking because of groundwater use and heavy development, and this is one reason Indonesia has been building a new capital, Nusantara, on Borneo. At the same time, Indonesia has the largest economy in Southeast Asia and is among the top 20 largest economies in the world. But in Jakarta, shiny shopping malls, luxury apartments, and glass towers can sit only a few miles from wooden riverside houses, crowded alleys, and families living with very little. This is a country moving forward fast, but not everyone is moving at the same speed. What about you? Which country are you watching from right now? Leave a comment below. Number 2. Indonesian women and daily life. Indonesian women are often described as beautiful, but the interesting part is how different that beauty looks from island to island. A woman from Java may not look the same as a woman from Bali, Sumatra, Sulawesi, or Papua. Some have soft Southeast Asian features. Some have darker island features. Some reflect Malay, Chinese, Arab, Indian, Melanesian, or local ethnic roots. Indonesia is not one face, it is thousands of islands, and the women here show that diversity clearly. Some women wear the hijab every day. Some wear traditional kabaya during ceremonies. Some dress in modern city fashion, work in offices, run businesses, study abroad, ride motorbikes through traffic, or help support their families from morning until night. In Bali, you may see women carrying offerings on their heads with incredible balance. In Jakarta, you may see young professionals moving through malls, cafes, offices, and train stations with the pace of a major Asian city. Beyond appearance, Indonesia holds one of the world's most fascinating matriarchal systems. In West Sumatra, the Minangkabau people run the largest matrilineal society on Earth. Property, land, and inheritance pass through women, not men. When a woman chooses a partner, her family sends the proposal, and after marriage, the husband moves into her home. Children take the mother's family name, and household decisions rest largely in female hands. Here, women are the protectors of both lineage and legacy. But elsewhere in the archipelago, the balance between faith and freedom plays out differently. Polygamy remains legal under Islamic law, though it's strictly regulated and deeply divisive. In 2024, the issue exploded online when a woman named Samira from West Java shared photos of herself posing with her husband and his new wife, both brides dressed in white. Instead of showing jealousy, Samira smiled and publicly offered her blessing. The images sparked nationwide debate about modern womanhood, religion, and the boundaries of loyalty. Then there's Java, home to one of Indonesia's most controversial rituals, the Pond Festival at Gunung Kemukus, often called the Hill of Blessings. It takes place 7 times a year, drawing thousands of people to a mountain temple believed to grant fortune and success. Before joining the ritual, participants cleanse themselves in a sacred spring, then symbolically pair with a stranger to pray for prosperity. According to local legend, the custom traces back to the 16th century, when a Javanese prince and his stepmother sought forgiveness on this very mountain, and were caught in an intimate act that became myth. Ever since, some believe that reenacting this connection can bring good fortune, especially in business. If I gave you $100,000, would you dare to come here and experience the Pond Festival yourself? Drop your answer, yes or no, in the comments below. Today, the festival remains controversial. Many participants are business owners hoping to renew luck, while religious authorities condemn the practice as a distortion of faith. Number 3. The paradise that is not the whole Indonesia. For many foreigners, Bali is Indonesia. But Bali is not the whole of Indonesia. In fact, Bali is one of the most unusual parts of the country. While most of Indonesia is Muslim, Bali is mainly Hindu. That changes almost everything. The temples, the ceremonies, the daily offerings, the music, the dances, even the way people understand life, death, and the spirit world. Walk through Bali in the morning, and you may see small offerings placed on sidewalks, in front of shops, outside homes, and near temples. They are called kanang sari, and they are made with flowers, leaves, incense, and sometimes small food items. One of the best places to feel this spiritual side is Tirta Empul, one of the most sacred temples on the island. Its name means holy water spring in the local language. Inside the temple complex, spring water flows into 2 long rectangular bathing pools through rows of beautifully carved stone spouts. People come here to take part in a purification ritual. They step into the clear water, move from one spout to another, and lower their heads under the holy stream. The ritual is believed to cleanse the body and the soul. Before entering the temple, you must wear a sarong, even if you already have long pants or a long dress. Near the entrance, sarongs are usually available for guests to borrow. You prepare a small offering of flowers and incense. After praying, you light the incense at the altar, place flowers near the water spout, bow your head under the flowing water, lift the holy water to your head 3 times, and drink it once. Some people say that if you want your wish to come true, you should ask for only one thing. It is part of daily life. But when the sun goes down, Bali changes. The same island that feels spiritual in the morning can feel wild at night. In places like Canggu, Seminyak, and Kuta, the sound of temple bells can be replaced by beach clubs, loud music, rooftop bars, scooters, neon lights, and crowds of travelers looking for fun. Some people come to Bali for yoga and healing. Others come for cocktails, dancing, dating, and nights they may not fully remember the next morning. But it also brings traffic, rising prices, waste problems, crowded beaches, noise, and pressure on local communities. That is why Bali is a beautiful doorway into Indonesia, but not the full house. Number 4. The most unique coming-of-age ritual. Before Indonesia became a modern country, its islands were already connected by one of the greatest seafaring cultures in human history, the Austronesians. These were the people who crossed oceans long before modern maps, spreading across Southeast Asia, the Pacific Islands, and even as far as Madagascar. In Indonesia, their legacy still lives through languages, boats, villages, rituals, and island traditions. And one of the most dramatic examples is found on Nias Island, off the western coast of North Sumatra. Here, the Nias people have a famous tradition called fahombo, also known as stone jumping. In this ritual, young men leap over a stone wall nearly 2 meters high. It is not just a performance. It is a test of courage, strength, discipline, and readiness to become a man. In the past, this tradition was linked to the warrior culture of Nias. Villages had defenses, and young men had to prove they could jump over barriers during conflict. Over time, fahombo became a symbol of adulthood and pride. Imagine standing barefoot in front of a stone wall taller than most people's shoulders. The village is watching. Your family is watching. There is no soft landing, no modern safety mat, and no second chance to look brave. You run, step on a small stone platform, push your body upward, and try to fly over the wall without touching it. If you make it, you are not just a boy anymore. Number 5. Homes that look like legends. Indonesia is not only strange in its languages, islands, animals, and rituals. Even its houses can look like they came from another world. One of the most beautiful examples is Wae Rebo, an ancient village hidden in the mountains of Flores Island. This village is famous for its cone-shaped traditional houses called Mbaru Niang. They rise from the ground like giant pointed hats, covered in thatch from the roof all the way down. From a distance, Wae Rebo looks less like a normal village and more like a secret settlement above the clouds. Then, far away in the forests of Papua, there are the famous tree houses of the Korowai people. These homes are built high above the ground, sometimes on tall trees deep in the rainforest. These tree houses help protect families from animals, floods, insects, and in the past, possible enemies. And in West Sumatra, the Minangkabau people have one of Indonesia's most recognizable houses, the Rumah Gadang. Its roof curves upward like the horns of a buffalo, giving the house a powerful and dramatic shape. But this is not just decoration. The buffalo horn roof is tied to Minangkabau identity, pride, and old stories. A Rumah Gadang is not only a place to sleep, it is a family house, a symbol of ancestry, and a reminder that architecture in Indonesia often carries meaning far deeper than wood, walls, and roofs. Number 6. The Festival of the Walking Dead. In the mountains of Toraya, in southern Sulawesi, there is a ritual that leaves most first-time visitors stunned. It is called Ma'nin, often described as the ceremony where coffins are reopened and the dead are brought home. Roughly once every 3 years, Torajan families return to the graves of their loved ones, whether grandparents, parents, or even children. The bodies are carefully taken out of their coffins, gently cleaned, dried in the open air, dressed in fresh clothing, and groomed as if they were still part of everyday life. When the preparation is finished, the dead are carried, and sometimes pose to appear as if they are walking through village paths in a slow and quiet procession. What feels deeply unsettling to outsiders is completely normal here. There is no crying, no public mourning. Smiles replace tears. For the Toraja, death is not a final farewell, but a long transition, and caring for the body is an act of respect rather than fear. According to local legend, the tradition dates back centuries. A hunter once discovered a decomposing body in the forest and, out of compassion, dressed it in his own clothes before giving it a proper burial. Soon afterward, he was rewarded with wealth and good fortune. From that moment on, the Toraja believed that honoring the dead would bring prosperity to the living, and Manen became a lasting part of their culture. Yet Toraja is also known for an even more unsettling story. Local folklore claims that some bodies were able to walk back to their homes on their own, a phenomenon often referred to as the walking dead. Oral traditions say shamans used a mysterious powder made from highly toxic animals such as pufferfish, scorpions, frogs, salamanders, or blue-ringed octopus. While deadly to the living, the powder was believed to stimulate the nervous system of the dead, allowing stiff bodies to move. There was one strict rule: if anyone spoke to the walking corpse, it would instantly collapse and never rise again. To prevent this, shamans guided the bodies along empty, isolated paths far from villages. Today, many dismiss these stories as myth or dark magic, but they remain deeply embedded in local storytelling. Visitors are often most surprised by how well preserved the bodies appear. Many remain intact for decades, with hair and eyebrows still visible and skin dried into a mummified state. This is partly due to the unique burial sites, as Torajan graves are carved into limestone cliffs where bodies rest deep inside rock niches. Locals also believe that certain forest leaves used during burial help naturally preserve the remains. Number 7. Indonesia's strangest rituals. One of the most unusual is Pasaliran, a baby grave tradition of the Toraja people in South Sulawesi. And no, you did not hear that wrong. In this custom, babies who died before growing teeth were placed inside small openings carved into a living tara tree. The opening was then sealed, and over time, the tree continued to grow around it. To outsiders, this may sound disturbing, but in Toraja belief, the tree was not just a grave. It was seen as a motherly place, holding the child and returning the baby gently to nature. Then there is kebo-keboan, a strange agricultural ritual from Banyuwangi in East Java. The name literally means pretending to be a water buffalo. Every month of Muharram, or Suro in the Javanese calendar, human water buffaloes roam through the streets of villages like Alian and Alas Malang. But don't panic, these are not real buffaloes. They are men covered in charcoal, oil, and mud, wearing horns and bells around their necks as they parade through the village. Kebo-keboan is an unusual way to pray for rain, protect the rice fields, and ask for blessings from the spirits. In farming communities, the water buffalo is seen as powerful and sacred because it has long helped people work the land. So if you ever see people running through a village covered in mud and charcoal, with fake horns and bells, don't be too shocked. That chaos is actually a prayer. And interestingly, Indonesia is also home to the anoa, often called the world's smallest wild buffalo. Found in Sulawesi, this small but strong animal adds another strange layer to Indonesia's connection with buffalo-like creatures. But perhaps the most dramatic ritual is Bakar Tongkang, or the burning of the last ship. This festival takes place in Bagan Siapi-api in Riau and comes from the history of Chinese immigrants from Fujian. According to local tradition, their ancestors arrived by wooden boat in the late 19th century, guided by Chinese deities, and settled in this new land. To show that they would stay and never return, they burned their boat. Today, that story is remembered every year through a huge fire ceremony. The highlight is the burning of a large Chinese boat replica, sometimes said to weigh around 400 kilograms. The boat is set on fire along with ritual paper money, creating a massive blaze watched by crowds. It is not just a spectacle, it is a symbol of migration, faith, risk, and the decision to build a new life in a strange land. Number 8. Extreme Indonesian cuisine. Indonesia is famous for bold flavors, but some dishes make you pause, stare, and seriously question your appetite. Start with ampo. It looks like a rolled dessert, pale and smooth, almost elegant. But it is not flour, not rice, not starch of any kind. It is soil. In Tuban, East Java, farmers collect clay from rice fields, clean it carefully, pound it dense, shave it into thin curls with bamboo blades, then smoke it for an hour. People believe it eases pain, treats illness, and that pregnant women who eat it will give birth to fair-skinned babies. It has almost no flavor. What it does have is purpose. Selling ampo at local markets can earn about $2 a day, enough to cover daily meals. If eating soil sounds extreme, some regions move straight to wildlife. In North Sulawesi, paniki is a coconut curry made from fruit bat. The bat is cleaned, chopped, and cooked with lemongrass, chili, and strong spices. Locals believe it helps treat rashes, allergies, asthma, and improves overall vitality. The same markets also sell fried and stir-fried bat. At street grills, you may see sate ular, skewers of cobra meat roasting over charcoal. The meat is heavily seasoned and grilled until aromatic. Many believe it boosts strength, improves skin conditions, and carries spiritual benefits. In Central Java, belalang goreng, or fried grasshoppers, are sold openly on sidewalks, especially during the rainy season. The insects are cleaned, marinated for about 15 minutes, then fried until crispy. This dish is common and provides real income for local communities. Further east in Papua, sago worms are a regional staple. These thick larvae live inside dead sago palm trees. Smaller ones may be eaten raw, boiled, or grilled with sambal. People describe the taste as rich and slightly salty. Despite the appearance, they are high in protein, rich in amino acids, and contain no cholesterol. In Purworejo, Central Java, vendors sell sate ulat bulu, skewered hairy caterpillars from specific safe species. Locals believe they help relieve toothaches and are safe to eat regularly. North Sulawesi offers another surprise, tikus panggang, grilled rats. These are not city rats, but wild rats raised in natural environments. Locals say the flavor is similar to chicken. Then there is sate biawak, grilled monitor lizard meat. It is believed to help with asthma and skin conditions, and some people even extract oil from it for medicinal use. Cooked with heavy seasoning, many claim it tastes better than chicken. In Jakarta, some stalls push even further, selling roasted centipedes. Long bodies, dozens of legs, grilled until stiff. No explanation needed. You either try it or you walk away. And between all these extremes, everyday Indonesian food still thrives, grounding the cuisine back into daily life. Bakso is the most familiar sight, a steaming bowl of meatball soup sold from street carts, small shops, and food courts everywhere. The broth is light but slightly sweet, filled with beef meatballs, noodles, fried wontons, tofu, and drenched in chili sauce if you want heat. It is fast, filling, and cheap, usually around $1 per bowl, which is why students, workers, and even families eat it regularly. Bubur ayam dominates mornings. This chicken rice porridge is soft, warm, and comforting, topped with shredded chicken, fried shallots, soy sauce, crackers, and pieces of fried dough called kakwe. On street corners and near bus stops, otak-otak grills quietly over charcoal. made from seasoned fish paste mixed with coconut milk, wrapped in banana leaves, and grilled until smoky. It is usually eaten with thick peanut sauce. It is simple, portable, and one of the most common snacks in urban areas. In Jakarta, kerak telur stands out as a cultural symbol rather than everyday food. Sticky rice is fried with duck egg, shredded coconut, dried shrimp, and fried shallots, then cooked directly over fire until a crispy crust forms. This dish is strongly associated with traditional festivals and fairs, and many locals see it as Jakarta's signature street food. And then there is Indomie, a national obsession. These instant noodles are eaten by everyone, everywhere. They are boiled, fried, mixed with eggs, vegetables, or leftover meat, and customized endlessly. Indomie is not just popular inside Indonesia, it is exported globally and has a cult following in the United States, Africa, and the Middle East. That contrast is exactly what makes Indonesian cuisine unforgettable. Which dish would you like to try? Please leave its name in the comments. Number 9. Cost of experiencing it all. Imagine this for a moment. You land in Indonesia, reach into your pocket, and pull out a single $20. That $20 can cover a full night in a clean guest house, 3 solid local meals, and still leave enough for a scooter ride across town. Breakfast from a street stall runs $1 to $2. Lunch at a local warung is around $4. Dinner, even with grilled meat and rice, rarely passes $7. By the end of the day, you have eaten well and spent less than what a coffee and sandwich might cost back home. You need to get around. Renting a scooter for the day costs about $5. Ride-hailing apps charge just a few dollars per trip. You tap your phone, the ride arrives, and you are moving again. Even experiences feel light on the wallet. Walking into a temple, soaking in holy water at Tirta Empel, or visiting cultural sites often costs $1 to $5. You pay, step inside, and suddenly you are part of something ancient, not just watching it from the outside. Indonesia can feel intense, strange, and unforgettable. But when it comes time to pay, it feels surprisingly gentle. You do not just see the country, you can afford to live in it, even if only for a while. So if you enjoyed the ride, hit the like button, share this video, and don't forget to subscribe so you won't miss what's coming next.